G'day ladies and gents, Connor here from CW's Tech Reviews, back with another video, and today we're doing my full review of the Oppo Reno4 5G. So without further ado, hit that like button and the subscribe button and let's get stuck into the video. Let's go. Now, recently I have been reviewing the Oppo Reno4 5G, the Oppo Watch, some Oppo headphones and the Oppo Reno4Z 5G, and I've got to tell you, I've been having a blast reviewing these products. This to me is a real Pixel competitor for 2020 and beyond because of the features that you get with this, the specs, the performance, everything in this is amazing for the price. It's $200 cheaper than the Pixel 5, which I think is a great price point already. So this coming in $200 cheaper is amazing. Now I don't want to give too much away because there are some pros and cons to this device, but we're going to get into the review. And firstly, I'm going to just quickly mention the specs. You got 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, 48 megapixel front facing camera, 8 megapixel wide angle lens, video stabilization. You've got a 32 megapixel front facing camera, a Snapdragon 765G, and it is 5G dual SIM. Then if you want to talk about the battery, you have VOOC charging. You can fully charge this phone in 36 minutes. That is staggering. So there's some specs out of the way. Now I want to have a look at the build and design. You have Gorilla Glass on the front, you have glass on the back, frosted glass, so it just looks amazing. The color really sparkles from this device, and it's coming in at 7.8 millimeters thick. Look at that. We're looking at a 6.4 inch AMOLED display. USB Type-C, no headphone jack, so that's something you're gonna have to take on the chin, no headphone jack. Not a problem for some, but it will be a problem for others. It has a fingerprint scanner in the glass on the front, and it also has facial recognition. Now, if you can get that fingerprint scanner to work before the face unlock, you're doing something good. I couldn't. That face unlock is so fast, it's just incredible. And to complement that, you've actually got a really fast fingerprint scanner in the display as well. 3 years ago, this would have been a $1,500 phone. The display is fairly bright and copes well in direct sunlight. I never had an issue looking at the display. I spend a lot of time outside exercising. I could be running for an hour, looking at the display a lot to check my speed and my pace and all that sort of thing. And I tell you, I had no issues with the display in direct sunlight. Even though it is 6.4 inches, it was really easy to manage, and there's that one-handed mode in there where if you swipe up from the bottom with your thumb, the screen shrinks and you can choose the app that you want. So this build, combined with the software, the Oppo software is really optimized for a pleasant experience. Moving into the software and the performance, we are looking at Android 10 ColorOS version 7.2. 8 gigabytes of RAM, the Snapdragon 765G, and the Adreno 620. That software with this hardware combined give you a really solid experience. I had no lag, no glitches, no forced restarts. It was a really enjoyable experience and a reliable one. Now, ColorOS is very customizable these days. You can make it run like a Pixel device, and the only thing that's going to look different is the skin. Now, back in the day, I used to customize my phones and put custom ROMs on them so I could optimize it and have it running in a certain way that looked unique to me. But I don't need that these days. Phones like the Oppo Reno4 offer you that customization so you can really get it to look and feel the way you want it to. Especially with all these gesture features, you can really add value and practical shortcuts to your software. Now also when it comes to the performance, gaming, not a problem. I don't have to go on and on for 10 minutes to tell you about the gaming. It coped really well with any game that I threw at it, and I did the usuals of PUBG, Asphalt 9, Leo's Fortune, and a couple of others, and not once did I experience any negativity towards the gaming. It just coped tremendously, and multitasking as well. So if you're a bit of a hard worker, and you do a lot of phone use, a lot of multitasking, that 8 gigs of RAM is going to serve you well, coupled again with that software and that hardware. It's just a win-win situation for whoever picks up the Oppo Reno4. Now, there's a lot of hoo-ha about the Oppo Reno4 camera, and so there should be. There's a lot of megapixels in here. You've got a 48 megapixel Sony sensor on the back. You've got an 8 megapixel ultra wide lens on the back and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. Then on the front, you have a 32 megapixel wide angle lens and a 2 megapixel depth sensor as well. We're talking portrait mode, night mode, AI where it can detect up to 10 different scenes for all your different situations where you'll be taking photos in, and those scenes could be landscape, food, portrait, and the camera automatically detects what you're taking photos of and adjusts for the best settings. Then with the video, we've got 4K 30 frames per second, 1080p 60 frames per second and 30 frames per second, and the same again for 720p, not that you'll be using it much. And then you have slow motion mode, hyperlapse mode, pro mode. There is many different settings here. Now, one of the standout features is the stabilization you get with the rear camera. It offers some really good stabilization. For all you on-the-go vlogger wannabes, stabilization is there for you. And you can see from these photos and these videos that the camera is really good. I, for one, think they're really crisp, sharp images and they're true to life. There is no oversaturation here, no pixelating for the video, and the pictures are in good detail. You can zoom in or crop in on your images and you don't lose a lot of detail. That front camera is fairly good as well. Now there is a problem here with the front camera, and sometimes when you're taking selfies, it tends to overexpose the image a little bit. So it's something you do have to consider. But it can take a really good photo. The background is nice and blurry and out of focus, and the portrait shots, the person in the portrait is really crisp and it's a sharp image with really good colors. So the front camera has some really good capabilities, and sometimes it slips up and misses. So hit and miss with the front, but all in all, a great camera experience for photos and videos. And I have to say that I'm really impressed with the Oppo Reno4. It's awesome. Now, battery life. You're going to get 30 hours of battery life out of this. I'm a heavy phone user. I don't even try to be, but I just am. It's the nature of what I do, so I do tend to use them a lot. 30 hours of use is not difficult to get with this phone. Again, that software is optimized. Sometimes it's overly optimized and you do have to go into your settings and give extra permissions to your apps that you want to run in the background. Like for me, I like my exercise apps to never go to sleep. I want them always on in the background, counting my steps, my heart rate, all that sort of thing. So I had to go in and manually change that. Once I did that, it worked a treat. But the real magic sauce here is with the battery. There is 2 batteries in the back. You can charge your phone from 0 to 100% in 36 minutes. That is so fast. You don't need to leave your phone on charge all night. You can just get up in the morning and while you're making a coffee, have it on charge and it will be fully charged in 36 minutes. In 15 minutes, you can go from 0 to 60% charged. As long as you have access to a PowerPoint for 25 to 30 minutes a day, you are never going to have to worry about your battery life on the Oppo Reno4. It is well and truly optimized, and that VOOC charging is killer. It is next level. Now I know a lot of people that are subscribed to my channel and watch my videos were really happy with my review of the Oppo Reno Z, the original. A lot of people went out and bought it because of my review. And I'd have to say that this phone here, the Oppo Reno4, is in the same category. It has 0 disappointment for me. I can't say I'm disappointed with any part of this phone. And if it was the only phone I had, I'd be super excited. It really is a standout for that price point. A couple other things to mention. It's a 5G phone. A lot of phones are these days, but this has 2 5G SIMs. For me, where I am, I only get 4G, so I can't really test it here. But I mean, 5G is 5G. It's fast and it's reliable and it's being rolled out in stages around the world. Cameras are great, design's great, software's great. Really is a win-win for this phone. And if you pick one up, make sure you use my links down below. You'd really be helping me and the channel out. That would be much appreciated. Thank you for watching. If you've got any questions or you think I've missed anything out, ask me in the comments. I'll answer the questions if I can. Unfortunately, I have to send this back, but I'm really stoked. Thank you to Oppo for sending it out, and I will catch you all in the next video. Check ya.